Alright guys, let me get the monitor up here. We'll get started. Alright. Oh, hopefully I get enough power here. Do a couple shares real quick. Alright guys, we'll see how discombobulated I can get myself today. I've moved a bunch. Hey Graham, happy belated birthday, dude. I was looking through some of my sketchbooks this morning, but now I've shuffled them around. So let me see if I see something that just kind of, let's see. I use these little sketch pads a lot, just for doodling. Kind of gives me a couple ideas here and there. I find the more I create in those things, the more more creativity I get. All right, it's not anything in there that I want to do. Let's grab something else. All right. Let's see what else we got here. Oh, that might be a good idea. Yeah, all right, I got something. Maybe. We'll see. All right, let's see. Let's get some liquid white to start with. Hey, Harriet. Sorry, I'm later than I thought I was going to be. I have an elderly parent, and I'm sort of at her beck and call. She's in her mid-80s, and you know, she's like, whenever you get around to it, but what she really means is whatever it happens to be, is come do it right now. So I try to accommodate her. Hey, Pat. Oh, can you guys hear me okay? You guys hear me okay? Going once, going twice. My cat's howling in the background. All right, today I'm going to be a little discombobulated because I've moved a bunch of my paintbrushes and stuff around. So I'm going to kind of get a different angle. See how this works out for me today. So I'm just going to put some liquid white on here. If you're wondering what kind of brush this is a 1-inch Brandon Thomas landscape brush from Brandon Thomas Art. Had it for a couple of years now. It seems like a pretty nice brush. Seems like a pretty nice brush. Okay, good deal, good deal. There's about a 30-second lag coming between you to me and me to you. So it's about a 1 minute total turnaround lag. It's kind of makes interacting sometimes a little challenging. Because if you wait like for something, it's just a lot of dead air. A lot of dead air, 1 minute dead air space. All right. That looks like a little too much liquid white. Let's see. No, that's pretty good. See? If you can see your fingerprints, that's just about right. So let me set that down. Break out my baby wipes here, clean my fingers off, and drop them on the floor. Well, so it was springtime until this morning. Until this morning, the temperature dropped here 40 degrees yesterday. So it went from 77 to 37. Today, it's slowly working its way back up into the 50s. And tomorrow, it's supposed to be 78. So tomorrow I'll be back in the garden. That's where I've been. In case you're wondering how come I haven't been streaming as much. I have a huge flower garden. growing for, I don't know, I guess like close to 15 years now. And when springtime comes, that's where you'll find me. All right, so I kind of sort of have a little bit of an idea what I want to do. Not exactly. We'll see where it goes. You know how it is with me when it comes to painting something. I like to kind of go with the flow, wherever that might take us. But I have kind of, well, looking at the blank canvas, I have a little bit of an idea of where I might like to go. So let's see what we can do. Let me move some of this stuff out of my way again. Some sketch pads out of my way. All right, let's see. Let's start off with a little bit of sky. So let's take, I could probably use that some more. Some cerulean blue around here. Some manganese. I like some cerulean. Yeah. So, I've had this color for a while. This is cerulean blue. You might recognize this gentleman's face right there on the front, Mr. Wilson Bickford. Hey, Dee Dee. Hey, Jane. So we're going to slap some cerulean blue up here. And then let's just kind of, just paint with that a little bit. Let's put a little bit of sky up here. Get some on this brush. Yeah, that's a nice color. That's a nice color. So we'll just use the X stroke, kind of put some sky up in here. Put a little darker back on this side. I don't need a lot of sky for what I'm kind of thinking about today, but there we go. We'll probably paint over some of that. All right, let's clean the brush. I'm just using odorless mineral spirits. Hey, Dee Dee. Dee Dee, did you see back a few broadcasts ago, you won a painting, but you never claimed it, kiddo? Hey, Kathy. So, anyway, the sun's come out today, and it's looking pretty outside, so tomorrow I hope to be back out in the garden. All right, let's take another 1-inch brush. This is clean and dry. We're just going to blend this out some. So we'll start up here in this corner. We'll use kind of a circular motion. We'll go this way. We'll go this way for a while. Then we'll go this way for a while. You probably won't see me change, but I will be. Just lightly, barely touching the canvas. Somebody said, well, it sounds so, you can hear that noise of the brush touching the canvas. It sounds like you're putting a lot of pressure on it, but I'm actually not. You can see how little of the brush is actually touching the canvas. I'm going to do that. We're just leaving just a little bit of a stain on the canvas there to kind of create that sky. Oh, got a couple of hairs there. Just flick them off with the edge of your brush. There we go. Here's another one. There's another one. Goodness gracious. All right. All right, that looks good. Let's clean that brush. Yeah, I think everybody's been down some kind of bug. I've been lucky; I've not been sick, but Anthony is down again. It looks like. Bless his heart. Miss him a lot. Hey, Gene, how you doing, buddy? All right. So let's see. All right, I want to throw some mountains in here. I think. What was my thinking on that? Oh yeah. Okay. All right, so let's move to a knife. Let me find one that I like. Let's use this one right here. Just use this little artist loft knife. So we're gonna take some mountain mixture, which you can, if you can't find mountain mixture where you live, you can make it up yourself. It's very easy to make. Take some Prussian blue, some alizarin crimson, a little bit of Van Dyke brown in equal parts, and voila. And then mix it to suit from there. All right, let's see. A little bit of titanium white here on the palette. So I want to lighten that color for this first mountain. It's kind of far back in the way. We sure do. We sure do. Hey, Nancy. How are you? Okay. Let's see. All right. So I'm going to take some of that mountain mixture. Pull it off a little piece of it there. Mix it with a little bit of this cerulean blue. And then we'll add some white to that. To lighten that color to start with. Yeah, that looks pretty good. It could maybe even be a little bit lighter. All right. So we've mixed a little bit of the cerulean blue in with this, with the mountain mixture, to keep color consistency throughout the painting. And that'll make it kind of, fit together. All right. So our first mountain, it's going to be kind of, it's more like a ridge, right? So we'll just kind of lay this mountain in there. It's off in the distance, like that. That's what I'm thinking. This is kind of what I'm thinking. I think we'll have like this, let me think about this. Yeah, I guess that'll be fine. All right, so we're going to have the light kind of coming in this way. So this will be always be the lighter side. So I'm just going to pull a little bit of that color in with a little bit more of this darker color. Maybe a little bit more of that cerulean blue thrown in there. Let's try this. Let's see how this looks. Oh yeah, that's nice. All right, now I think we'll add just a little bit more to that. Just another shade darker. So we're sticking to the same color. We're just adding to that. I want to have a mountain that's kind of like way around this way. Way around this way. Like that. I'm going to keep this a little bit dark. So let's just kind of... Thank you, Kelsey. Wow. Hey, Graham. My canvas holder on my easel. Well, it depends which part you're talking about. I got these little things. This thing right here is just an 18 by 24 canvas, and it looks like it does because I constantly gessoing canvases and stuff. So, all right, now probably before I did that, I should have done. That's okay. We'll fix it here. So I really didn't like what I had right there. I just want to take a little bit of white. I'm gonna go right in here. I'm just going to tap in some of this white. So I got to push that off into the distance a little bit. All right. Now let's bring that color back. All right, so we're gonna need a little bit more white here. Reminds you of Bob Ross. Man, that is a really nice compliment. Thank you. Bob Ross is awesome. He's like, I wouldn't be painting today if it wasn't for Bob Ross. So, it's just, the man was amazing. Such a kind man too. He's such a gentle soul. Just gonna keep this color going here. This is going to be way off in the background, really, when we're done here. All right. Now I think I'll smooth some of those lines out with a brush here in just a second. I think I have a hake brush over here. Yeah. I could do this with a 1-inch brush, but I'll just do this with a hake brush. I'm just going to kind of barely touch this. But touch it we will. Touch it we will. There we go. I don't think that's going to work for tapping. All right, let's just wipe this brush off. We'll just add a touch of white, titanium white to that. Kind of add some mist here along the bottom. I don't want a lot of detail on these mountains. I just want them to be back there. Now, tell you what though, I'm going to add a little bit of crevicing to this mountain. So let's just, we could go to black to do this, but I don't think we will. I think what we'll do is we'll just go pure, this is straight mountain mixture. And I just want to add some crevices along the way here. So we're just going to let this paint break. Wherever it feels like breaking. Canvas can give me back what it doesn't want. There we go. Yeah. Maybe a little bit of that on this side. There we go. All right. How about that? What do you think? Okay, let's see. Tell you what, let's just smooth that just a little bit. There we go. Yep. Yeah. Okay. Just barely touching. 3 hairs and some air there. All right. Okay, let's put. Let's go with, what do we want to put in it? I want to have some water up next, so let's just let's take some phthalo blue. And we'll just pull some. Now some of this on this side is going to get covered up on this side over here, but let's just go ahead and put it across, all the way across. Now we're going to blend that some. All right, let's just blend this. We'll just use the same brush. Brush it down. There we go. So we want to keep this striation through here because it gives the water some movement. Now, if you think you need a little bit more movement in your water, you can, well, we're going to add some water lines and stuff, so we'll talk about that. We'll just do that as we go. I'll show you what I'm talking about. You can either add water lines or you can add depth lines. Either one. Let's clean that brush. So we've been talking to a couple people about starting up a YouTube channel. I don't know if we will or not. We only paint full length episodes, so I don't know if people have that much patience to watch me paint that long. All right. So now we picked up. Well, I need more than that. We picked up a bead of paint here on this knife, and we're going to lay in some water lines. Hang on just a second. Looks like my camera is on. Don't want to run out of battery power right in the middle of the thing. Oh. Bumped into it. Hang on. Moved some things around today and evidently I pulled the plug out. Alright, so let's add some water lines in here. And like I said, you can add water lines or you can add depth lines, whichever one you want to do. Let's start off. I'll tell you what, before we do that though, let's have to do something else a little interesting. So I'll pick up a filbert. If my wife was here, she'd say I only wanted to pick up a filbert because I just bought some new filbert brushes today, but that might be true. All right. And if somebody ever tells you you have too many art supplies, just walk away from them. You don't need that kind of negativity in your life. All right. So I just got this filbert. We're going to mix it with a little bit of the phthalo blue, I think. And just kind of maybe a little bit of this white. Let's see that. Let's see what that looks like. Maybe a little bit of blue in there with that. A little bit more green, maybe. All right. So we're just going to tap some distant trees off in here. So I had a banner week last week. I sold 22 paintings, which was awesome. One of the people that bought some paintings from me actually was the first people to ever buy a painting from me, which was wonderful. They came back and bought some more. Good friends. Good friends, good friends. If you guys have any questions, just let me know. You like filberts too? I love filberts. I use a 1-inch, probably between 1-inch brushes and filberts. Those are my two main go-to brushes, probably. Tap a little bit of texture into this a little bit more. All right, there we go. Yeah. All right. And then maybe, let's see. Let's pull a little bit of this color down. I could probably do that faster with a 1-inch brush, but I'm not going to worry about it. I'll do that when I get over here. All right. Hey, Billy. They're about $1 a square inch, Gene. So 16 by 20s are usually about $3.20. Some of my earlier paintings cost less than that. Some of those are around like $50. You know, I try not to sell my art for, I don't need the money, so I kind of, you know, I want people to be able to afford it. So I try not to price it too far out of range, but, so usually, they go somewhere between $240 and $50, depending on what I'm painting, how long it took me here, how much detail it has in it, or how many paintings I have in my basement. if I have 100 paintings in my basement and I want to get rid of them, then I just let them go. Make me an offer. All right, so we put a few little background trees in here. Now we're going to take this here. Can you guys, let me move that a little bit. Looks like I knocked you off kilter when I moved. There we go. All right, so we got like a small bead of paint here. Now we're going to push onto this canvas pretty hard. We're going to try to keep this line level all the way across. We want it to be horizontal, but we will move it up and down the canvas. Create these water lines across there. All right, that one there got smooshed. Spread them back out. There we go. Now, you can also bring these water lines out. Look, I picked up some of that paint there. You can see I was pushing on there pretty hard. We'll just wipe that off onto the side. We might use it for something else. Get another cut of paint here. You can come out here. If you want to create some water lines that indicate like some, so the distant ones, you just kind of, same thing, push down, just cut you a water line in there. Wherever you feel like one goes. If you're looking to create some more a depth type feature, you do the same thing with a darker color. You just cut it in a couple different places like this, and then just take it and wipe it back. Just wipe it back like that. And you can do the same thing with the water lines. The more you brush on a water line, the farther back it'll go, because it'll go out of focus. If you want it to be closer and more in focus, then don't blend it. Just pretty much like anything else, you blend that way. All right. Okay, let's see. I think I will go with. Let's sketch a few things here with a small filbert. Let me get some colors out. Let's start with some brown. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to put some buildings in along here, like a pier type of situation. Maybe a boat or not. I don't know. We'll find out. Hey, Merlinda. Abilene, Texas. My brother lives in San Antonio. Pretty good ways away, though. All right. We're broadcasting from Louisville, Kentucky. So, all right. Let's see. What am I thinking? Let's try. I want the dock to kind of run like. So if the dock comes like this. So I'm just kind of sketching here on the painting with my flat brush. All right, so if we kind of just laying some color in here right now. Now, if you're having trouble with your colors, like if you got a lot of paint on your canvas, and it's bugging you, just scrape some of it off, or just wipe it off with a paper towel, or use a paint eraser. If you don't have a paint eraser, just use a pencil eraser. It'll work just as well. It'll work just as well. No need to spend a lot of money for something exotic when in fact it's just a paint eraser. All right, so let's see. If we take that color, let me finish laying that in. All right, so let's see. I want this to be kind of that way. This will make more sense in a minute. At least I hope so. Never know with me. All right. If you guys have any questions, throw them up here. I'll be glad to answer anything that I can for you. If I don't know the answer, I'll tell you. I'm not too shy about that. All right, so we're just putting a little bit of a darker shadow under the edge of this pier. Using the same color we used on the mountains. All right. Now let's take some of that brown, kind of put it out this way. All right. Hey Terry, thank you. If you guys, anything you ask me, anything, if I know, I'll certainly tell you. One question I get is how long you've been painting. I get that question quite a bit. And I will have been painting for 3 years in May. I started off going to a Bob Ross class, and after that, I was hooked. So, all right, we're just gonna blend these just lightly, just barely. Kind of blend them into the water. Then I think we'll put a little bit of a water line around them, each one, just a little. I think I'll use the small end of the knife instead. Yeah, let's do that. So we want that line to be straight across. I don't do a lot of pure water picture kind of things. I do a lot of landscape stuff. I do a lot of sunsets and sunrises. And, I just thought I'd try something different today. All right, let's put a house. Let's put a house in here. What color do we want to use for that? Let's start with what do we got here so far? Okay, that's dark sienna. So let's put a little. Well, let's see. I'll tell you what. Let's go with. Let's see if I got some Prussian blue here. Let's start off with Prussian blue on one side of this building and see what we got. If I do this the way I kind of saw it, I don't know if I will though. I tend to change things based on what I see in the painting as I go. And I usually don't start off with anything too much in mind, so, you know. All right, let's just kind of slay this house in. Let's see. So I'm just painting with the edge of my knife right now. Kind of sketching in what I want to see, and we'll go from there. And if I don't like what I see, I'll just undo it. Don't forget when you're painting that you've always got like an undo key. It's called your knife. You can just kind of get rid of anything that you don't like with your knife or with a paper towel. All right, yeah. Yeah. That looks pretty okay. I'm just using a flat just to lay this out. My knife gave me some of my outline, but didn't give me everything I wanted to see. All right. So let's darken that some. This is the back side of the building from where the light is, so we're just going to darken this side of the building a little bit, just a little bit. It's not completely in shadow. I'm going to put like a little bit of a shadow right there under the eaves. And then let's kind of let's try some of this. Let's see what this looks like. Looks a little too white. That's okay. We'll fix it in a second. Oh, that's cool. That's cool. You know, it's always fun to kind of learn technique and then kind of take it, do things. Either you haven't seen it before, or you haven't done it before, or just because you want to do it. You know. I remember when I first started painting, I used to get so nervous. It was nerve-wracking because I was always afraid I was going to mess something up. All right, I'm not going to mess with this side of the building too much because I have another building that I want to put in there. So I'm not really going to see a lot of that side of that building too much. So let's go to the next color. This building's going to stand out from everything else. We got a lot of blue going on here. This building's going to pop right off the canvas. So let's just kind of we'll put some doors, windows, and things on this before we get done. All right, now let's see. Let's take. I want to make this color a bit darker, but I don't want to go to black to do that. So I'm going to just take and mix it with a little bit of brown and see what's a little bit of sienna actually. Let's kind of pull that down. There we go. You know, you don't always have to go to white or black to take something to make it darker. You just, that's your first kind of, sometimes that's people's first go-to, but that's really not the. Marion Dutton has a really good lesson about that, by the way, on video. You should watch that sometime. If you don't follow Marion, she's pretty darn good. She's from out of the UK. She's awesome. All right, now. All right, with that done, let's go back to this color. I'm going to add a few more colors to this in a second. You have to make the building a little bit longer. Okay. Let's take a little bit of that brown again. Let's add some shadows to this building. Not good. Not enough shadow. Let's try it again. All right. I'll look over at the monitor here in just a second and see if anybody has any questions. Hey, Rosalind. How are you? How are you? All right, let's put in a couple bit. Let's put in another fin. Let's put in another post. There. One right there. On the opposite side. And now I want to put one more building in. All right, let's go with. I want some space in between there. We're going to put some more things in between these buildings here in a second. So let's go, let's see. I'm going to square this building off here for a second. All right. That didn't come out right. So let's see. Let's fix this. I really want it to be more like that. Don't we? All right. So let's just move it up. A little bigger than I originally wanted, but it's okay. It'll do. Let's brush some color in here, and we'll figure out how to fix it. Okay. Let's keep this side dark. I'm going to move to a little bit lighter color on this side. Don't want it too light, or it won't show up against this building, against this water well enough. I think that's the problem we might have with that. So let's see. Well, it's not too bad. Let's go with straight cerulean blue. Here we go. Hey, Deborah. Just as I got it, I touched it back on the wrong paint. All right, let's just cut some shadows in here. I think we'll put some shadows on this side of the building as well. It's kind of a little weather building. Maybe some over here too. Just a few over here on the edge. Probably blend those in a minute. Yeah. All right. Okay, let's see. Let's put some windows and stuff in. So we'll get some black if I can find it. Here it is. So we've not used a lot of colors here, but just a few. I'm not going to worry about squaring these windows too much. I'll do that when I highlight them. Maybe a couple of windows on this side. According to my sketch, I did. All right. I think I'll clean this brush and switch to a script liner for these other two buildings. Don't have to do it with a script liner. I just think it might be easier. Let's see. So I'm going to add a little bit of linseed oil to this because I've got quite a bit of paint on there now in different spots. So the linseed oil will help it go on. Don't get too crazy with the linseed oil, or it'll be so liquidy that it'll just run right off your paint. Will just run right off your canvas. All right. A little bit of a shadow on the side of this post, maybe on all these posts, as long as we get the black out. Okay. Let's run a little bit of a shadow along this line of this building. I haven't decided what I'm going to do with that. Maybe I could put a boat there if I wanted to, but I don't know. All right, let's see. So let's put that down. Let's pick up. I'll use this angle brush, not this angle brush. Maybe this angle brush. So I'm going to use an angle brush like this. I'm just going to use it to pull some of the color down on this building. Although I think I actually mix a little bit more color with this too. I want that to be darker than that, so let's just kind of. I'll do the same thing up here. Just to get that shadow in there. What? Wait, we got an Amazon commercial going on. Amazon has the vegetable glycerin. Oh, that's for acrylics, right? That's what Anthony uses for his acrylics. Is that right? Do I have that right, Dee Dee? All right, I'm just gonna. I'll just use this brush. I'm just going to pull that reflection over. Let's put another post right here. All right, let's see. Let's put a couple of chimneys out here. Why not? Let's go on this one first. A little heavier than that, I think. There we go. Then maybe one out here. And one out. Let me put this one in the middle of the building. All right. Looks like we need a little bit of a shadow, more shadow on this building. Right out here. And then just a little bit like this. So I didn't actually clean this brush. I'm just pulling its reflection out a little bit. I might have a little bit of a water line right there. And maybe we'll put the water line out here. All right. So, all right. We could put a, I don't paint a lot of boats, but we'll give it a try, I reckon. Maybe. Or maybe at least part of one. Let's see. Let's sketch one in. Let's see what we got. I don't think I want to put a whole boat in here. I think I want to kind of, well, I think I'd rather have some trees to set this off in a distance a little bit. So let me put the script liner back. Let's switch to a 1-inch brush and just put some trees up here. So let's get so we'll go back to this 1-inch landscape brush that we started off with. This Brandon Thomas landscape brush that I started off with. And let's put some trees. Let's just put some trees up here in the front. It needs to be darker than that. Yeah, it looks okay. I'll leave it kind of open for some room for some birds to fly around in there. I won't leave it too crunched up. Take it all the way to the edge like that. All right. On this side, I think we'll have the tree off the side, but we'll actually just have some branches coming out, you know, over the water a little bit, like that. Okay. And this needs to be dark right on this edge in the center of the tree, though. Here we go. All right. Okay, let's take some cad yellow. What do I have in the way of cad yellow? If you haven't been following, I've got these gigantic tubes of paint that are quickly getting toward the empty part. It's so exciting. Pretty soon you get to open a new tube of paint. Wow. I know some of you might not be as thrilled about it as me, but it just is. All right, let's see. Let's mix some linseed oil with that. You know what? I think I'll clean the brush first. I'm gonna pick up some of that green and black and blue and alizarin crimson I have in these trees. So I'm gonna clean the brush out really good. All right. Now, all right. Somebody just said they sound like a complete idiot. You never sound like an idiot if you're an artist, because nobody has all the right answers. And if you're not trying something, if you're not feeling like you're a little bit over your edge, then you're probably not working at it hard enough. There we go. I'm just carrying this yellow back into the tree just a little bit. I'm letting it gradually get darker and darker and darker. All right, a little bit of linseed oil for that one. We're not going to put too much highlight on this tree because it's on the shadow side. This side of the tree, this highlight side will be over there. Okay. Let's drop some highlight on these windows. I've had another thought too. What was that? I don't know what that was. Okay. Let's put that away. All right, let's straighten up a few things here. Then we're going to go back and work on these buildings a little bit more. We've kind of got all the reference stuff in here that we're looking for, I think. Let's clean a few brushes up real quick, and then we'll finish this up. So, how many of you guys paint with oils, and how many of you paint with acrylics, and how many of you do both? It sounds like we got a bunch of acrylic artists in the audience today, and that's fine. Whatever medium you like the best. I paint in both, but I like oils a lot best. I like them best, absolutely. And the reason that I do is I feel like they're more forgiving of me than acrylics. All right, let's put some more posts in here. I want to put this building on stilts. So let's just kind of, let's see how do I want this to go. Let's put one right here. And let's put one right here. And let's put one right here on the corner. And then let's just kind of paint the side of a deck in here like that. Yeah. Make it a little bit wide. All right, now let's highlight that, and then we'll put some other stuff around it. So I'm just pushing some black right under the edge of this, and by that I mean I just pushed the brush right through the paint. Instead of pulling it, I pushed it. And I'm trying to build up a layer of paint on the edge of that brush so I can push it onto the canvas just like that, without adding any additional linseed oil. We do the same thing, come down the edge of this building, right there. All right. Now let's put a little bit of highlight down the side of this post. I'm still working with the edge brush. All right. With the angle brush. I'm going to highlight across the top there. All right. And then a little bit right there on the edge of this post. Anthony, if you don't follow Anthony, you should. If you're an acrylic artist and you're not following Anthony, you're not doing yourself a service, because he is a great acrylic painter. He is awesome. All right. Let's put a little bit of highlight down these edges. Along this edge. Not a lot of white, just a little bit of highlight. So it's putting just really enough color on there to, if you were sitting here in front of the painting, you would see that it's not white. Oh, here comes my cat. He thinks he's the boss of me. Because he kind of is. All right. Now let's highlight some windows, and we'll be about done with this, I think. So we're just using the tip of this brush. Painting just with the tip, not the whole edge, just the tip of this brush. You can do this with a script liner as well. There we go. Too much white there. There we go. I'm making these on this side a little bit wider because I want to kind of insinuate there's some frames there. Same here with the door. There's a frame around those. And I don't think out there, well, maybe. Let's put a little bit of highlight out there. Let's just put a little bit of highlight out there. Not a lot. Not a lot. There we go. All right. I think I still need a little bit of darker color right here under this pier. There we go. So let's do a recap. Let's talk about. No, he's something out of brain cramp. I'll think of it in a minute. Oh. He's a black cat. He's a big black cat too. He's a 15-pounder. He is. Hang on, I'll tell you what he is. There's suddenly I've got. A Bombay. That's what I meant to say. I wanted to say Bengal, and I knew that wasn't right. He's a Bombay. He's 14, so he's got a little age on him. And this last year, he's really gotten to where he's. Since I've retired and we have more time to spend together, he monopolizes my time quite a bit. He's a cat who pretty much thinks he's a dog. He wants to be with you all the time. No excuses. Let's put a couple little extra water lines out here, just for the heck of it. There we go. All right, guys. So he's a great cat, though. He's just, he's just like he is. That's all I can say about him. He's just as he is. He's a sweetheart. He's just noisy all the time. Not all the time, but here this last year, he's really gotten where he's talking a lot. But he's always been a very sweet cat and very loving cat, and always wants to be with you. So, you get everything that comes with that. He's a sweetheart. Yeah, that's exactly what he's saying. Feed me, servant. Actually, no. Probably what he's. I don't think he's saying that. Probably what he's saying is he wants a drink. He's got water in his bowl. He has a bowl. It's got like a gallon of water in it. But no, he wants to drink his water out of the faucet if Daddy's home. So, or if he can't get it out of the faucet, he'll be more than glad to drink it out of a bottle like humans do. But heaven forbid that he might have to drink it out of his bowl. He will only do that if he can do it begrudgingly. Yeah, it's just the way he is. All right. I think we're gonna let that go at the way it is. So, I think if the weather stays the way that it's forecast, it will be sunny the next 2 days. So I'll be out in the garden, which will be Tuesday, Wednesday. Thursday, I think, is when it's supposed to start raining again. And when it does, I'll come back and do another painting. This was something totally different. I did sketch it on a sketch pad last night when I had an idea about it. Like, what am I going to paint tomorrow? Usually I don't even bother to do that. I just sketch because it kind of gets the creative juices going. So this was a sketch. So you guys can decide if you think it's anything like the sketch. So paintings never go exactly as I do them. Hey, Rosemary. Well, it's always out here for you to watch, right? So, okay. I think one last thing I would like to do. I'm just sitting here letting this painting soak in a little bit while I'm thinking. I'm stalling because I usually have, as soon as I get done, I think of one more thing. I should have done one more thing. And I have thought of one more thing. So let's do it real quick. I want to put something down in this corner. Something, probably some old bushes. That would be good. Add a little bit of midnight black to the palette. We've already used all that up. So we'll take some of that, some sap green, some black, because it's like as close as you can get on the landscape. Pull this out. Some people have asked me about what is this my canvas is sitting on, and it sits on these little feet. They're just little furniture cushions, and they're glue on one side. So I take two of them and stick them together. And as much as I put gesso on my canvases a lot, it doesn't take them long to get hard. Actually, let me see if I got one over here that looks a little cleaner that you might can see what it looks like. Oh, here it is. Here's one. Yeah, so you can see here, it's two little pads stuck together in the middle, and they're soft. They'll like that. They'll stay soft until the first time they get gesso on them, and then they'll be hard, like the gesso is. I like them because I can pull it lifts my canvas all the way up above the ridge there, and it makes it a lot easier for me to punch things in there. Yeah, I think I like that. I think I want to do something like that. That's kind of groovy. So I'm just kind of pushing that color in. Maybe a little bit up here. There we go. All right. So I'm not going to do a lot to clean that brush up. I'm just going to pick it up through the cad yellow, pick up some highlight. So you get kind of a greenish mixture here. I'm just going to highlight some of that. There we go. Not too much of that green. Not too much of that yellow in there. Kind of mess up with that. All right, there we go. All right, guys, so we'll call this done. So hopefully, if it rains on Thursday, I will be back. Be sure to like my page, Ben Stiver's Fine Art. That's where this video is coming from. And it'll notify you when I'm coming live. I'll also send a message out in the morning of that day to let you know. I have an elderly parent I have to take care of, so sometimes some things come up and I can't make it. But most of the time, I post a message ahead of time, let you guys know when I'm going to be doing it. Okay, where did that painting go? Tomorrow, I will announce a winner for this painting. Hang on a second. If you've commented here, or you've clicked like, or you've shared this, for each one of those things, your name will be entered, if you live in the United States, to win a painting. And this is it. It's called Winter Breach. It's an 8x10 on canvas board, oils. And I will mail it to you, postage free, if your name is drawn. Be sure you check your Facebook message request tomorrow. I should have it posted by noon. And see, because if you're not on my friends list, which feel free to be on my friends list, that would be great. I'm located in Louisville, Kentucky, Kelsey. Anyway, I'll give that painting away tomorrow. We'll mail it to you, postage free, no charge. It's yours to keep. It's all signed, sealed, delivered, and all that good stuff. So, and then on the next one, we'll do it again. Like I say, it was a banner week this week. We sold 22 paintings. That was awesome. It's the most paintings I've ever sold in one week. So I was really happy about that. Hope you guys are having a wonderful day. I'm going to go pet my cat now. And hope you guys have a wonderful evening.